So here in Clovis, California, and we are getting ready to install a new water heater. It's a high recovery unit for the furnace and the potable water. And right now we're draining it down. So we are going to start up here with that valve. Water's off to the home, and we're going to get a brand new ball valve on there just so you can see it scaling up, and you probably work on it a little bit, but we're just going to replace it. Brand new ball valve, and then of course little pipe nipple, and then we're going to put stainless steel connectors on, hot and cold. We might reuse this vent. We might we've got some new material as well. It just depends on how. I think we're going to shove this unit all the way back in the corner so it sits real tight over there. So anyways, we've got new new adjustable 90s, new pipe, whatever. That's not the most important thing. Relief line goes back out somewhere behind the unit over there, back on the wall, back right in there. So we might do something with that, maybe move it over a little bit, something. The main part is the hydronic side here. So as you can see, it's nice and insulated because it's hot water. So this is the hot outlet. So this is what comes from the water heater through the check valve. So you can see check valve arrows pointing down. So water comes out of the unit. It's got an isolation valve, check valve pointing down, coming over, and this runs over and ties in to the one on the right, which is weird. So this says cold outlet, return to water heater, and this is cold return. Yeah, so it's all labeled, which is real nice. On the unit, you can see hot inlet, which is the supply from the water heater, one on the top, and you can see right there, hot outlet. So it's labeled real good. So hot goes over to the hot, and then the cold loop right here, the cold return goes over to the cold. So super easy. And again, we're going to come back out. We're going to do brass. They have iron pipe nipples in there, which are like dielectric type nipples that normally go on top of a water heater, but they've stubbed out, put a union on, no big deal. We've got brass nipples we're going to bring out, and then probably a brass 90, and then another brass nipple, new shutoff valve, new check valve, new copper, all the way down. Same thing down here. We just want to get you new material. We like to put as much new material in as possible. That way, when we leave, we know something's not going to go bad, and we got to come back out and do a service call and charge you, more money after you've paid all this money for the installation. So gas is going to come out of the wall temporarily. It's in the way of the water heater. We might do something with that when we get ready to tie it back together. It's spun so far around right there. We'll just see what has to happen. These two inlet and the outlet on the new water heater, they need to stay facing forward. We can't turn them really far toward the wall, so kind of pushes the controller over there. But anyways, we'll get this hooked up. It's going to get a new supply line, gas shutoff valve. It'll have a new drain valve on it already. We're going to get some new adjustable straps in there at the right heights. This is too high. It should be in the lower third. But that is it for right now. I just want to get a document of this before we get going so we can take a video when we get done. It's going to look pretty much the same, but we like to take some pictures. Plus, once you take it apart, you want to make sure everything tied back together good. So hot outlet, boom, over to the hot inlet. And that makes sense to me. And we'll take another video when we're done. Yeah. So we are in Clovis, California. We just finished installing a Bradford White high recovery water heater. And this is the URG 250H6N. And you can see this right on the side of the water heater. You can see the H, that's for the high recovery. It also, you can tell because it's got this, the two side outlets for the space heating, which we've tied in nicely down here. So that's what that is. You can go to bradfordwhite.com. You can do the serial number, model number, fill it out, do your full name, street address, all that. They'll know where it's installed, and then you can get your warranty going on this project. So let's take a look up top, see what we did here first. On the hot side, all we did is replace the supply line. So you got a Falcon stainless steel connector. That's almost a full 3/4 inside diameter stainless steel, and these are ultra flexible. They're the biggest in the market. A little bit more expensive. We like using those, and then we tied in with brass coupling, brass nipple, because it does not corrode. The existing pipe coming out of the wall is galvanized iron pipe, but that's what the pipe is to the home. So Nothing we can do about that. But we do like to put brass in because it doesn't corrode and it flows real well. Same thing over here on the cold side, brand new shutoff valve. We did put a brass nipple in between before we put the Falcon stainless steel connector in, down to some more brass. So that's tied in. We've checked it several times. We always like to make sure that we run a finger around it and make sure there's no weeping. Usually we got lots of grease, running around here because we grease up these gaskets pretty good. But these are one of the things that you monitor. If you're renting, it's kind of hard because tenants sometimes don't monitor as well as homeowners, but monitor that. Any signs of water, moisture, whether it's weeping, dripping, spraying, doesn't matter what it is, let us know. We'll come out and take care of it right away. Brand new venting system. So you can see diverter came with the unit, adjustable 90 and another adjustable 90 to a brand new piece of pipe going up to the ceiling bucket. We did visually inspect the dual wall B vent that goes up to the roof, and it looks clean, so shouldn't have a problem with that. Draft diverters in place. Down here, we've got adjustable strap on the upper third, adjustable strap on the lower third as per contract and per code. You can see the relief line comes over, and we had to build out this copper piece from the very back wall. That's the relief line. So that guy right there, too much pressure under temperature, it pops off, water drains out this line, so that's good. This is the space heating outlet. So what we've done, solid brass construction, a nipple, 90, another nipple, shut-off valve, quarter turn on, quarter turn off. So those are great. Down to a check valve so it only can flow one way. It goes down and over into the space heating. You can see right there, hot inlet. And then underneath it comes the cold outlet. It comes back out and up. We had to kind of hop around and back down to here. So that's the space heating return. And you can see it says space heating return. Another quarter turn ball valve right there. Full port, so that's a 3/4 inch all the way inside diameter, and then it's insulated. This piping is hot, so it's insulated all the way back to where it was, all the way up to here, because if you touch it, or if you hold on to it, it's going to get pretty hot. But if you bump into it inadvertently and you get burned, then I guess you have a lawsuit on your hands. So this is insulated. We did replace the gas shutoff valve. It was as old as the home, so brand new gas shutoff valve, as well as a brand new flexible connector going over to the controller. And that is it. So everything in here is installed as per contract, as per code. The burner is lit. The water is hot already. It's a high recovery. It takes about 20 minutes to recover water. So you can use 50 gallons out, and then boom, 15 minutes later, 20 minutes later, you got another 50 gallons. So everything's good here. As far as space heating, I don't know what this needs to be set at to maintain temperature for the heating side. I really don't know. I know for household water, this is 120. That's perfect. You could stand in 120 water and not get hurt. A130, B140, C150, very hot, 160. At B, which is 140, you got third-degree burns in 3 seconds, you're going to the hospital. So, and you can see right here, scalding risk increases with hotter water. So if you're living in it or renting it to someone, they got small kids, be careful. So what happens in the home is they're not getting hot water to tub or a shower, and instead of trying to address the issue at the fixture, they'll come out here and crank this up. I've seen people run it at 160. Very, very dangerous. So keep it at 120. That's where it's set at. That's why we document it, that we set it at 120, and then we walk away. So you can leave it at that. Everything is good. Outside of that, this installation is done.